All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're doing a deep dive into First National Bullion. This is a veteran precious metals dealer that's been navigating the ups and downs of the market since way back in 2005. If you've been looking into precious metals, you've probably seen their name pop up. So we're going to do an objective, fact-based breakdown of what they actually bring to the table.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll meet the company, check out their physical bullion, shine a spotlight on the JM Silver Bar, break down their gold IRAs, weigh the pros and cons, and finally look at their market standing. Let's get to it. Before we get into the specifics of the company, let's just address the elephant in the room. How do you actually protect your wealth in a completely unpredictable economy? With inflation and economic uncertainty practically dominating the headlines, so many investors are asking how they can effectively hedge their portfolios against market volatility. Precious metals are a very traditional answer to that question, which is exactly why dealers like this one are seeing so much attention right now. Okay, part one. Let's meet First National Bullion.
They were founded in 2005 by Jonathan Cavuto, who is actually a former oil futures trader. And get this, they've facilitated over $1 billion in precious metals transactions over the last couple of decades. That level of volume tells us they have some serious infrastructure. But honestly, what really stands out when you dig into their background, and you see this noted constantly on community forums like Reddit, is their rare brick-and-mortar footprint. First National Bullion operates actual physical stores across California and Arizona. We're talking San Diego, Scottsdale, Carlsbad. In an industry that is totally dominated by online-only brokers, the ability to literally just walk into a store and have a face-to-face consultation, that's a massive differentiator for building trust. Moving on to Section 2, Physical Bullion. A really key feature here is their transparent two-way market. Basically, that means they are just as committed to buying back standard gold, silver, platinum, and palladium as they are to selling them. Which brings us to part 3. We're going to put a spotlight on a very specific physical asset, the Johnson Mathia Silver Bar.
We're talking about a massive 100 troy ounce bar here. That size gives it this incredibly satisfying heft. It's got this rugged industrial charm that totally appeals to investors who really value the physicality of precious metals. It's not just a number on a screen, It's literally 100 ounces of tangible wealth that you can hold in your bare hands. So, why does this specific bar command a higher premium in the market? Well, primarily because they literally don't make them anymore. It's a discontinued piece of metallurgical history. And because they're cast rather than minted, every single piece features entirely unique cooling marks, all while guaranteeing 99.9% silver purity. That kind of brand recognition gives it incredible resale strength on the secondary market. All right, shifting gears from holding physical silver to planning your retirement, let's jump into Section 4, Precious Metals IRAs. A self-directed IRA allows you to hold alternative assets like physical gold while still getting those traditional tax advantages. If moving your retirement funds sounds like a headache, don't worry. Their expert team walks you through a super logical 3-step process. Step 1, setting up a new account or rolling over your existing 401k or IRA without tax penalties. Step 2, purchasing specific IRS-approved metals for your portfolio. And Step 3, getting those metals into secure storage. And speaking of secure storage, no, the IRS does not let you stash your IRA gold in your sock drawer. For compliance and security, First National Bullion partners with top-tier UL Grade 3 vaults across the country. You've got options like Brinks, the Delaware Depository, and Loomis International. These are world-class, fully insured facilities designed to keep your retirement assets absolutely safe outside of your home. Now, a common barrier to entry for gold IRAs is the cost. However, depending on the industry source you consult, like Benzinga or Gold Guide, the minimum investment to start an account with First National Bullion ranges between a very accessible $3,500 and $10,000. That is a huge advantage for investors who want to test the waters of precious metals without committing tens of thousands of dollars right out of the gate. Moving right along to Section 5, let's weigh the pros and cons for a totally neutral appraisal. We always want to give you the complete picture, so we aggregated third-party reviews. This quote, straight from Reddit's Gold IRA investments community, brilliantly illustrates the grassroots sentiment out there. Users highly value the trust built by having those physical stores, and crucially, they appreciate that First National Bullion focuses on standard investment-grade bullion. They aren't using aggressive sales tactics to push high markup rare collectible coins, which, let's be honest, is a pretty common complaint with other dealers. Looking at it side by side, the pros heavily feature their 2 decades of industry experience, their physical storefronts, and their transparent pricing. On the flip side,
The cons noted by some reviewers include potentially higher storage fees compared to discount brokers and a slightly smaller online and social media footprint when you stack them up against the newer digital-first competitors. Which brings us to our final section, market standing and our verdict. It's one thing to look at a company in a vacuum, but check out how they fit into the broader ecosystem. This comparative data is super revealing. Look at the minimum entry points. While a highly respected competitor like Augusta Precious Metals requires a $50,000 minimum and Goldco requires $25,000, First National Bullion welcomes investors for as little as $3,500. While annual storage fees vary, that low barrier to entry is undeniably appealing for newer investors. And surviving nearly 20 years in this industry is tough, but First National Bullion has managed to maintain top-tier, flawless ratings across major watchdog organizations. They're sitting on an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, a perfect AAA from the Business Consumer Alliance, and a 5-star average on consumer sites like Yelp. That is a real testament to consistent customer satisfaction. So, we'll leave you with this final thought to consider for your own portfolio. This company offers a unique blend of old-school physical presence and modern IRA integration. Does the security and transparency of a physical, veteran dealer align best with your personal investment strategy? Or are you prioritizing the digital convenience of an online-only broker? It's your wealth, and understanding the details we've covered today is the first step to protecting it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and remember to keep asking the right questions.